coffee break now, and we're starting with one strange reason why people looking for jobs are still having a tough time landing them.
Yeah, I keep hearing from people who are job hunting how difficult it is, and now we're getting a little bit of an explanation. So if you just look at the numbers, it seems like the job market is really hot right now, but there were more than 10 million openings in January alone, but according to a recent Wall Street Journal report, nearly 30% of job listings stay up, even if companies don't plan on filling them anytime soon. Yeah,
That's
so
unfair.
tricky.
A lot of news jobs were like this.
Oh, really?
In the past, applying for jobs, I'm like, how's this job still open?
Yeah, I have.
Chris calling out the industry.
It wasn't personal, Chris. This is what was happening. See,
Just business.
Career counselors are calling these fake or ghost jobs and say it's become a more common practice since companies started cutting jobs and pulling back on hiring. Managers interviewed for this survey admitted they will keep jobs up for a couple of reasons: to give the impression that the company is growing, to appease employees who feel overworked, or simply to have a ready pool of candidates for whenever they do decide they're ready to fill the job. Recruiters warn that job seekers should check a job that hasn't been up for too long before getting their hopes up about it being a real position. One of my friends is job hunting right now, and she has been for a while, and she says, she's like, there are all these jobs and I'm applying and not getting any phone calls, and it has to hurt after a little while, but this is what's going on.
Now
You get discouraged.
I mean,
See, you can feel
controversial.
better about that TV job
I know,
that they
right?
never responded
I mean,
to
this
now.
was years ago, but yeah, I mean,
Chris,
it
he's
makes
still
sense,
holding a
though.
grudge in 2023 about whatever that
No,
job
right.
was.
No.
It's okay. We've talked about this before. Filters, right? Some of them make you look pretty crazy.
Like picture filters?
Yeah, filters,
Okay.
like social media filters.
Oh,
Or they can make you
I
look
use
like
those.
the most beautiful version ever imagined of yourself, right?
This is very true. So it depends on how you look at it, but people's pictures and videos are getting harder to spot every day when, those filters just look so subtle.
Yeah.
So a lot of researchers are now saying this is having a negative impact on our mental health.
Sure.
We know
Yes,
that, right?
of
So
course.
France is now looking to mitigate some of that. So some of the country's leaders introduced a measure to make it mandatory for influencers to note if their content was retouched or filtered.
Mandatory?
Mandatory.
Wow.
That's going to be every influencer.
This is probably true. Although I will say there's a new push with influencers not to do this, so who knows? This would only apply to paid content, not personal content. The law would also ban influencers from promoting any sort of cosmetic procedures. They say this is in an effort to limit the destructive psychological effects of filters. Now, if the law passes, leaders have made it very clear they won't be lenient with people who don't respect the requirements. Chris and I were together yesterday at the desk, and I wanted to post a photo, and he's like, "Did you use a filter on it?"
Oh, calling them out.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
And I said, no, I didn't, because I don't want to be in that, position where I'm promoting that type of behavior. It's tough, though, because you're right. Some of them make you look really good.
But sometimes you
Yes.
just do like a swipe over one, and it's not too much of a pic.
Gives you a little bit of
But
a tan.
enough that zit that you have, you won't see in the picture,
Here's the
right?
point, though, that I wanted to make also. If it's about paid advertising,
I
that's
agree.
like an issue of false advertising,
Oh,
right? If you're
absolutely.
advertising cosmetics or something
Yeah.
and you're making it look like
Better
an
than it
idealized
is.
version
Yeah,
of your
good point.
self.
I agree.
then-
But I also
all
love when
be
people do the
natural.
whole natural thing. They're like,
Me
this
too.
is my natural
Yeah, I
look.
love it.
So
Natural's coming back. I feel it.
we're all going to go natural
It's about
tomorrow.
time.
Okay.
That way
Speak
you don't have
for
to put
yourself.
so much effort.
Just kidding.
Here's another one. Allison Felix. She's the most decorated
Yeah.
track and field athlete of all time. She has 11 Olympic medals, but she had said in a recent interview that even all of those accolades didn't make her immune to having a tough time navigating pregnancy as a competitive athlete.
Oh, interesting.
She opened up about this in a recent podcast. She said she was scared of the repercussions of becoming a mother, both from her sponsors and also because of what it would do to her body. She said she heard about other athletes getting their salaries cut when they got pregnant, or just that they got pushed out of the sport altogether. She says that anxiety made her hide her pregnancy for as long as she could. And she said overall, the stress turned what was supposed to be one of the happiest times of her life into a very stressful 9 months. And that's just so
awful.
sad, isn't it?
Right, and it's so unfair because male athletes don't have to deal with that. They can
Exactly.
become a dad and it doesn't impact their career at all. So it's nice that she's at least opening up and talking about that. So they're just adding to the conversation.
And this is an interesting one because it spans so many fields,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
It's-
completely.
Especially here in LA in the entertainment and acting
Truly.
worlds.
I mean, even the
affects a lot
business
of people.
world, it's all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
show your baby bellies, women.
Yes.
We all support you. I think that's cool.
We will.
All right, so speaking of, we all know relationships take teamwork, right? So
Yes.
there's this one dad, he's going viral on TikTok for a pretty cool reason. He's basically breaking down the steps that he takes to help his wife when he travels abroad because he goes on all the work trips. He works away. And he wants others to find ways to help their partners with these mental loads that they deal with when it comes to kids. So this is the guy. So before he heads out on a work trip, let's say it's a 6-day work trip, he wants to at least take care of the things that he usually does when he's around. Things like packing the kids' lunches, getting their outfits ready, and to help prepare for the week, he also cleans, he vacuums, dishes, does all the laundry in advance. On top of that, get this. When he gets back, he gets his wife a private hotel so she can go relax.
There you go.
Love this
That's
guy.
what we needed.
Because his argument is that, hey, you've been taking care of the kid all week. Here you go. Because that's a lot. That's a lot of
It
pressure
is.
and a lot of stress. And men like that, fathers like that are leading by example. So I'm glad that's going viral.
That is so
Yeah,
great. I
that's
have
amazing.
a partner who's really hands-on, and we really kind of split the
Yeah, you guys are
responsibilities.
good.
But he never got a hotel room for me.
say.
Hey, now.
He's gonna add that to the
I'm
list
gonna have
now.
to send him a text message.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's watching. Like, hint, hint.
But that is pretty cool, though.
Reminded.
So, I mean, women do a lot. They work, they mother, they do it all. So,
And
It's
so
a
do
big
dads.
job.
in
And
stay-at-home
some
parents in
cases, yeah.
general.
and dads
right?
do
True.
too.
When
Yeah.
you get the hotel, can we all come with
Yeah,
you?
can I
Party.
use the hot tub?
Yeah.
All I want is a hot tub.
Yeah, it'll be so relaxing.
Right. How fun.
And that's it for today's coffee break.
But
Kcal 9 is now Kcal News.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.